Hey, Scruffy. Didn't come up to the door this time, huh? Yeah, your meows are still a little weak. Hey, that's a little better. So I have meaty pate. I actually forgot what flavor this is. I think it's the real chicken and tuna. And kibble. Okay. Feet on the table. Glove on. Oops, I dropped the glove. Okay. So where are you going? So here's some squeaking. I think it's from next door where that dog is. So if I saw a piece of blue on Scruffy, that means he's been sleeping on the blanket. So I didn't see him most of the day. I think I saw him late this morning, sleeping out near the round table. He was kind of obstructed, so I didn't get any shots of that. And then I didn't see him this late afternoon. I did see him when I brought out the water, but yeah. Been having kind of a behind day, so I had trouble sleeping last night again, and ended up waking up really late this morning. So I got a really late start to my day. And let's see, my computer's operating system software has been sorely out of date. I've been avoiding the updates because I need my computer to work, and sometimes updates they break things, and so I wanted to wait for two things. One, I like to wait for the majority of people to start using the updates. So if there are any problems, then their early adopters get the problems and they get fixed before I get to it. And then when I'm doing things on my computer, I usually don't like to do updates in the middle of projects or things that I'm working on, things I need to do or update. So yesterday or last night, I finally was kind of at a breaking point where I could finally do some updates. I didn't do all of them, but I did one or two of the major ones. So far so good. So I haven't seen any like major problems or issues. But that was how my evening was spent last night. And kind of ran late, so even before I couldn't go to sleep, I was already kind of going to bed a little late, waiting for those updates to end. So one thing he grabbed the glove, kind of hugged it there. So one of the things that did surprise me about the updates was just how long it took to install. Because usually it's the download process that takes forever, at least in my experience. And I had actually pre-downloaded the update, so I thought it would just be an install process. And I know the installs can take a long time sometimes, but I grab the glove again. But this update, yeah, took a really long time even after I'd already downloaded it. It seemed like it took about what I expect it to take if I had downloaded it, and or how long it would take me, yeah, to download it, not to install it. So I was actually a little worried. Maybe the update screwed up, or maybe the update was re-downloading the stuff again, which I hate because I have quotas. Grabbed the glove again, and he kind of pushed himself up on it. Yeah, got into that one. Really got his neck on the glove there. So anyway, yeah, so got up late, did some things. Fortunately, I'm in a transition point now, so I had to start transitioning to like the next set of tasks to work on. So today was kind of a low beat day, and kind of just coast a little as I work on the transition. And then let's see, I went for a walk kind of late again. So I actually think I was going to water the garden here, but since I got up late, it's like, water the garden later. I should talk about watering. I got another notice from the water company. Oh boy. But yeah, I'll finish with the walk first. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, pretty much nothing happened with the walk. I didn't see any cats. It was a pretty nice day again. It was sort of like the last couple days. I was actually surprised more people weren't out. There were a few people out, but not a lot. Considering it's pretty nice. I did see, I think, 2 or 3 different volleyball games set up, so there were some people out, but not really that many. Because just normal non-volleyball players, there weren't that many people. So it's kind of a quiet walk. So I guess we're getting close to food time here, huh? So I've actually been kind of hungry myself. Actually kind of craving something. I don't know what though. That's the problem. I think I want something different, but I don't know what. So I don't know what I'm going to do for dinner tonight. Probably I'll just have my soup, but I think I'd like to do something different, but I don't know what. And I don't really... Since I woke up late and I'm kind of behind on everything today, I don't feel like spending a lot of time cooking. I was at the grocery store at Costco yesterday getting groceries. So I mentioned the inflation. I was definitely noticing the price increases. I did check the beef chuck for pot roast. So it's been on my mind for probably over a month now, maybe 2 months. Thinking, gee, I haven't had a pot roast in a long time. That kind of sounds good. But okay, let's get your food. Oh, meow. But yeah, the beef went up again. So it was already high, and it went higher. So I remember before the pandemic, it was, I think, under $5 a pound. I think I was paying $4 and something. And yeah, now, yeah, yesterday it was $7.49 a pound. So that's a pretty sharp increase. It's been high ever since the pandemic started, but it fluctuated. So it went up, went down. But yeah, now we're, I think, back up to the highest again. And I don't think it's going to come down. So I didn't buy a pot roast. And I'm still thinking about it. So maybe next time I go to Costco, I'll get one. I don't know. So if my leg gets better, I'm thinking if I start running again, maybe I'll do it. Give myself a treat if I can start running again. So my leg is still having problems, but yeah, I did the crossover exercise today, and I don't think I got any more range, but yeah, I am noticing less discomfort or less pain. So for the range that I'm pulling it back, I seem to be doing better, so it's still an improvement. So I'm feeling like I'm starting to get close. I feel like it's healing, and I'm getting there. I just don't know when. So I'll keep monitoring it and see how it goes, but I'm starting to think maybe I could try a light run, because I don't feel like the muscles that I'm using running are necessarily the ones that are going to impact the problem. But I'm going to have to take it easy just to make sure. I think it's the biking that was causing me more problems. So I'm going to have to stay off the bicycle for a while still until it completely heals. So anyway, I'm going to talk about Scruffy. So at lunch, I brought out the water. I didn't see him, and then I was looking around, and then finally I saw him. He was under the table on the other side, or well, not under, but he was next to the table on the other side. And so I held out the camera to get a picture of him. I don't think he wanted me there, so I went back in. So I didn't show yesterday's footage. I don't remember what happened yesterday. So I remember I had a similar problem, I think. I didn't see him. So I went looking around for him. And then I think I finally spotted, I spotted him finally. He was out a little bit on the deck. But yeah, I think the potted plant or something was blocking my view, so I didn't see him from the windows. And then he decided to start walking over to the water dish while I was over on more on the other side of the table, because I was looking for him. So he basically started walking towards the water dish, and then eventually he got to the water dish while I was still holding my position, and then I figured, well, I actually need to walk that direction and go back inside, so what's he going to do when I start walking over? And so I started walking over, and I think he backed away from the water dish. He didn't like me getting closer. So then I went back inside, and then he came back to the water dish and drank his water. So that was yesterday, and then and then I think in the afternoon he was on the big table sleeping. And oh yeah, I noticed he was sleeping with there's like this metal part that's from it is a burned out piece from my air conditioning unit when it went out. So the repair guy pulled out and replaced the part, and let me keep the old part, not that I know what to do with it. So I just left it on the table, and figuring I was going to throw it away eventually. I noticed, Scruffy sometimes, sleeps next to it or kind of touches it. So I think he likes the metal feel or something. A couple times I've seen his back like right against the flat plate. Like in the summer, I think in particular, I was thinking maybe like cools him down. But yeah, yesterday was not. It's not summer. It's not hot. It's kind of cold. So I don't think that's what he's doing. But he was kind of, keeping it near him almost as if it was a toy. But the thing's kind of heavy, so it's not really a toy. It's a little sharp on the edges. But yeah, Scruffy seems to like it, so I'll just leave it there. So, anyhow, I was going to talk about the water bill. So I got another letter in the mail today about the water rationing that's being imposed upon us. So we're always on some sort of water rationing. It seems like we're always in a drought, and it's always a freaking disaster. I've complained about this before. Basically, the whole water system here is a complete failure, and they make the users of the least amount of water conserve the most, which is really stupid. And so it punishes basically the people who don't use that much water, and then lets everyone else continue wasting water, which is stupid. So I've had friends who've also been screwed by this, and I remember one friend, they actually just voluntarily cut their water usage. The only thing they cared about was their front lawn or their front yard, and they cut out everything else. They cut out a lot of cooking and washing and cleaning. I think they let their backyard die because they just wanted the front yard to survive, because I guess the plants there were more interesting. So their water bill was really, really low, and the water usage was really, really low. And then water rationing increased, and they had mandatory cuts across the board, didn't care who you were, but since they had already cut so much before, they were now being asked to cut again on what they had already voluntarily cut. And so now they were just completely squeezed out. And then on top of that, their neighbors ratted them out for watering their front yard. And they said, look, they actually got a knock at the door from the water enforcers, and they said, hey, look, we've cut our water bill. We're like lower than like everyone in this neighborhood. And the water people are like, we don't care. We got a complaint. You're watering the yard. That's not allowed. So you're gonna get fined. So anyway, my situation is that they're basing our new water rationing on prior year usage from 2 years ago. And I thought this would actually work out for me, because so that's when that was my last year my dad was alive, and so we were actually using more water because of his medical issues, and we had to have live-in care, so we had more people in the house, so we were actually using a lot more water. And so the mandatory cuts based on that, I should be pretty clear. But the letter I got in the mail today was showing the breakdown, and they did it breakdown by I think by weeks or months or something like that, or a week, or it's either weeks or each month or something like that. The intervals are actually a little weird, so I was a little confused. But the problem was that there were certain months that were very low usage, and then there were other months that were more typical. And then I had to think about it, and then I remembered the months where we had like really abnormally low usage. Those were probably the times where my dad, we had to take him to the emergency room, and he was living at the hospital for multiple weeks at a time, and so basically, since he was at the hospital, nobody was here at the house. Basically, we were at the hospital with him, and yeah, we just come back here so I'd come back here to sleep, and then I'd go back to the hospital to see him. So basically, yeah, we weren't really living here. And so anyway, that skewed the results. And so the water rationing, since it's based on either weeks or per month, some months I'm allowed, a normal sizing, but it's like basically a percentage decrease. It's like a flat percentage decrease you have to do based on that week or that month. And so for the weeks we weren't here, we're still being asked to cut that same percent for those particular weeks. And so for those months, I basically have to cut my usage to basically a point where I'm not living here, which is completely ridiculous. So there is apparently an appeal process, but it's the government for you. So I'll probably have to file an appeal, see if I can get those months reduced, or increased, but without jeopardizing the other months, because I guess there's a risk that they said, oh no, we're going to just cut you completely across the board. We're going to make your situation even worse, because I don't have good experience with this type of thing. So that's the next thing I got to do. New piece of crap to add to my list of to-do things. To-do items. Scruffy's taking off early tonight. Okay, folks, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.